Howdy, howdy, howdy. Happy to be here and happy you're here with me. And if you're new here and enjoy this content, I hope you'll subscribe. So today we're going to talk about a whole lot of things. Just a little hodgepodge of a little bit of everything. So, let's see. I had to catch my breath. I was busy running around trying to get everything together here on the table so I could have something to talk about. Alright, so the last time you saw me, my knee was in severe pain, and I just was in a lot of pain. The last time I had been to my doctor, he told me that he'd like to have some x-rays, and I said, well, it's already starting to feel better, so we'll just wait and see. And then, of course, I heard it again, and so, yeah, looks like we're going to get some x-rays. All right, so I had finished Hank, the dog. And thanks to my wonderful testers, and I'm going to insert a little space here to point them out for you and show what they did, because believe me, they did a great job. And I'm happy to report that Hank the dog pattern is now available on my website, and I will have that link down below in the description. So I'm so happy that that is done and ready for everybody. And he's just so cute to look at. I mean, he has to make you smile. He just really has to. Okay, so Hank is done. Good boy, Hank. I put a little box down here so I can just kind of move things off of the table here. While I was having Hank in testing, I was kind of just, laid up in bed. It really just took the vibe out of me for wanting to crochet. I was just in so much pain, and it was just so instead of crochet, I decided to take a little hint from Tracy over at Travel Crochet, using up some old yarn. So I had purchased this yarn like a jillion years ago, it feels like. Probably about 10 years ago, I purchased this yarn at the Yellow Rose Fiber Festival in Seguin, and yeah, paid 14 bucks for it. But I bought 2 balls of it, and they've just been sitting there waiting for their turn. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to take Tracy's suggestion and use up some old yarn. So while I was laid up in bed, I picked up my knitting needles and I made this really large scarf. It's pretty long. Hubby says it's not long enough, but I love how it came out with these little rows in it. I love those. Those are so cute. So, and of course I knit a whole lot slower than I do crochet because there are mistakes. You probably can't see any, but there are. And thankfully, not as many as I would normally have, because knitting is just not my thing. But I love how it turned out, and it's big and chunky. So maybe someday when I go visit my brother in Michigan, I will need it. So, yeah, I'm pretty proud of it. It turned out pretty good. I used a really big needle. I think it was like a size 13. So a big chunky scarf that I probably won't need to use except for the 2 weeks of the year that are super cold here in Texas. All right. So, and while I was getting that done, the testers were getting their thing done. And so, let's see. And of course, when I was finished with that, I was watching the video from Robin at Knotting Hook Crochet, and she's doing this, random picking numbers and just making it. And well, I have a bowl like that, but mine are a little different. Mine are all of like, this is small rabbit, and there's like 6 or 8 tags in there. And this is what have sold and I have not replenished. Pretty much that's what all of this is things that have sold and I have not replenished. But they're all in their own little category, like octopus. And there's probably about 6 or 8 tags there as well. So I went ahead and went through. I didn't go as far as doing random, but I went ahead and went through and picked out 3 of the tags to do. And so I picked out 4. This one's cat for 15. And then there's the easy cat for 12. And ladybug for 15. We'll talk about her in a minute. And then there was baby chicks. And I got all their tags on them. And I ended up doing 6 of them. But apparently, I picked up the wrong size hook, because I don't remember them being this small. And they turned out pretty small. So apparently I picked up the wrong size hook when I was doing them in my pain pill haze. So I have a whole bunch of baby chicks that are a little bit smaller than the originals. So I'm not sure if I need to downsize the price, or, I mean, they're a little bit smaller, but I don't know if it's really going to be extremely noticeable. We'll see. I haven't unpacked an old one to check to see the size difference, but just picking it up and feeling it, I know it's smaller than it used to be. So that was I was like, okay, we'll just go with it. Alright. And so what took me on the path of going through all of these and picking out some to do was something else. And I'm going to show y'all here. I have this stack of papers that are patterns that I have written down, alterations to other patterns that I have written down, even suggestions like animals A to Z, just there's a whole lot of suggestions, and there's a whole lot of ideas that I had that I never played out. Basically, it's it's basically my dog Hank, but among others, there is like a pig and a cat and a cow, and I just went nuts one day and drew out all these little faces, and I just I have this big old stack full of ideas and patterns that I have already created, but did not write down into a PDF. They're just here on paper. So, and of course, one of those is my ladybug pattern. And I was like, I need to get some of those out. And while I'm at it, let's grab some other things that I need to get done. So, I got this ladybug done. And I'm looking at, as I was making it, I was like, I totally grabbed the wrong yarn for this. I'm pretty sure I didn't write it down. I didn't even write down what size hook I was using or what yarns I was using, which was very unusual because I usually have that up in the top corner here. But yeah, it came out really cute, but it came out really small compared to what I remembered. So all of these price tags are going to have to be redone because 15 is just not going to cut it. So yeah, on my road trip to go see Dad yesterday is when I made this and the other, a half of one. Well, a little more than half. All it needs is a head, but still, that's what I got done yesterday when we went to go see Dad in the car. And so I really have this problem with my brain. Is I have all of these things that I want to get typed up. That's a big chore. Or even some of these ideas created, another big chore. And then I was like, I also need to tackle these. Another big chore. And I kind of overwhelmed myself. And when I get to the point of being overwhelmed, I kind of don't do anything. So, or it really slows me down in doing things. And then there is, not to mention, Texas heat. It's a little warm. The air conditioners are struggling. As you can see, I am wearing one of my old tops because it is pretty warm. And that, of course, doesn't make the yarn flow through my fingers very well. And yeah, I know, I'm just full of all kinds of excuses, but they're legit. Anyway, so yesterday, while visiting Dad, Mom, she goes, do you have any use for this? And I was like, well, why aren't you using it? And she goes, there's something about the colors. I can't see them very well. And so she has a whole spool of cotton yarn that she gave me. Her eyesight is so bad that they have to do all these injections every once in a while just so she doesn't lose more of her eyesight. So yeah, apparently this color is just not good for her eyesight. So I make some pretty washcloths, right? But she also gave me some interesting things. So she hands me these little bags, and says, go ahead and take these. Maybe you can use them for fabric. And I was like, okay. And they are pillow shams, pillow covers, whatever you want to call them, in a like old Asian theme, or Asian or Japanese, or I don't know what to call it, but it was really cute, really interesting. I've always liked things like that, but it has like a kind of a velvety velour feel to it. Or maybe even slightly flannel. I'm not sure, but they have a little zipper down the bottom. You can put little pillow inserts in it. I was like, that is just too cute to cut up for anything. I don't know if I could do it. And then this one is even better. It's a big print. It's really gorgeous. It's the same thing on the other side, but still, it's just so pretty. It's colorful. Very colorful, but pretty. I'm not sure if I could make myself cut that up into anything. It might hurt a lot. But those are really interesting. And of course, Mom is not a throw pillow kind of girl. Well, neither am I, but I might be. Those are really pretty. Alright, and then I think the last thing to talk about was this guy. I don't even know where he got off to. It's a zipper pouch, and I went and cleaned out a corner over here because it was just getting too full of stuff. And so I was cleaning it up, and all of a sudden I came across my little pouch. And it has, let's see, a piece of felt for behind the eyes, a sewing needle, some gauge rulers, 2 of them, another yarn needle, some scissors. It must have been, I know I used it as my go box, to go box. And then of course some hooks. And back in those days I used to use paper clips as my stitch markers. So there you go. I found a stash of my to-go box. That was really cool. I was like, dang, I wonder when I lost that, because I don't remember. But yeah, I love my dinosaurs. So cute. Alright, and let's see, what else have I neglected to talk about? Oh, so the doctor gave me orders to go get x-rays, so I will be doing that tomorrow. And that's about it. Dad's birthday was yesterday. That's why we went and visited him. He is 79 years old. And we're glad that he made it to another birthday, and we are hopeful he will make it to another one. And that's that. Yeah, got a big old stack of stuff to work on. I wonder what's next. Ladybug, print it up, since I got it, working on it. Probably need to print it up. But I also need to make it, I don't know if I should stick with this size or if I should go bigger into the blanket yarn. This right here is, do you believe, Baby Snuggle yarns. So, might need to go a little bigger. But yeah, love it. Okay. Well, I guess that's all I have to talk about today. I am so glad you are here with me and stayed till the end of the video. And don't forget, Hank the dog is already up for sale on my website. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. See you next time. Bye-bye. Oops, I forgot. About my market last Saturday, because of my knee pain, I put my alarm clock on. I was ready to go, but as soon as my leg hit that floor, I knew there was no way I was going to be able to do a market. And so I ended up canceling and not going. But thankfully, it was just a free market, so I wasn't out any money in doing that. So that was a good thing. My next market is this Saturday, and it's a big one. It is expected to be quite large. Fingers crossed they don't cancel it, because there is a small chance of rain. And with all the flooding we've had in the recent weeks, fingers crossed they don't cancel it. And fingers crossed my knee is gonna do better. Let's hope. As of today, my knee feels pretty okay. I mean, I don't want to say it's great, because I don't want to jinx it, because that's what happened last time. I don't want to do that. But as of today, it feels okay. So fingers crossed it holds out until I can come home on Saturday night and crash. So, all right. Talk to y'all later. Bye bye.